So I had this question, right?
What's up?
Uh, so like seeing everything that is happening, I was wondering like if you could like would have an idea of how long would it take for women to lose their leverage in society?
Leverage meaning what?
It's like to like initiate everything for them.
Like, what do you mean? Need you to get like very
They
specific.
basically run the dating scene, basically.
How are they running the dating scene?
Well, if you man, you would actually like, you would like, just know that they run it.
In what way? I'm genuinely trying to understand what you mean. So I need you to clarify. Like when you say run it, what do you mean by that?
Like they automatically have the leverage that you have to take them first, take them to dates, do this, do that, and you're giving too much.
Okay. Okay. So what would be the alternative?
That's what I'm asking you because it seems like they kind of losing the leverage right now.
Okay. I gotta be honest, bro. It sounds like you haven't thought this through because you're having a hard time explaining to me what do you mean. So what is the alternative?
I'm not saying that they should be an alternative. I'm saying like if they probably may lose the leverage.
Why do you say they probably may lose their leverage? Again, I'm trying to get you to clarify. If you are having a hard time clarifying, that is a sign you have not thought it through fully.
Okay, so let's start saying like with all the DL man stuff.
I'm still not
Yeah.
understanding, brother. Like, how do we even get to DL? How are you connecting that to women having leverage with dating?
Like they would call you DL if you don't do like certain stuff for them. That's what I mean.
Have you personally experienced that?
That's what you see everywhere, man.
No, no. Have you personally experienced that?
No.
Right. Most men haven't. So it sounds like you're formulating your opinion off of what you're watching online. And online isn't real life. Social media is not real life. Give me an example, okay? You probably seen a lot of videos on women, videos online of women and men where like women are talking about how, they want men's money, and you'll hear men saying the same thing. My personal experience, I've dated more than most. Never had a woman ask me for any kind of money. It's never happened. People online just be talking. That's why you gotta have,
Because they only ask you for money if they don't like you. Like,
and then some never do it, right? But yeah, it definitely is something that happens. But it's like if you were to judge it off of what you see online, you would think it happens way more than it really does. Way, 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 way more than it really does. Right? So that's why you have to go out and get personal experience to prove to yourself like that things are not as simple as social media videos make it seem. That's the problem. People aren't getting their own experience. They're learning from the experience of others. But people post things online for a lot of reasons, bro. There are women online who pretend like they don't like men, but behind closed doors, they're big lover girls. They're probably paying for a guy to go on a date, right? People post things online to get attention and to get engagement. So you can't
so it's
even
not
really,
real.
it's real to a point. It's just not, it's like if you watch the news, right? If you watch the news, all you see is bad thing happen after bad thing happen after bad thing happen, right? So like my grandparents watch the news every day. You probably have grandparents do the same thing, okay? My grandparents are normally terrified of the world because they watch the news all day. And when they're watching the news all day, they keep hearing about bad things happening. So they think the world is getting more and more dangerous. But in reality, the world is more safer than it's ever been historically. So the content that you consume changes how you see things. And it makes it so your perspective is not grounded in reality.
Yeah, but like, yeah, it's not my experience because like I just seen people and
Right.
stuff.
Right. Yeah, you have to go and get your own personal experience. Like, don't even listen to me about what I'm saying right now. I know what I'm saying makes logical sense, but go out there and get your own personal experience and prove it to yourself. That's it.
Oh, okay, okay. I can say this because uh, the last relationship I had, my ex would always try to have the leverage over me.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay. In
so
what
that
way?
actually happened
How
to me.
did she? How did she? How did she always try to have the leverage over you?
She would try like to manipulate me, like
Mm-hmm.
trying to get mad, to get me to like to chase her.
Right. So in that situation, you have to kind of learn what you possibly did wrong. A lot of times in those situations, guys put themselves in that situation for a few reasons. One, they don't have boundaries. Two, they're unwilling to leave. And then three, they don't have the discernment to notice when they're dealing with a quality woman. I'll give you an example. There's guys who come on this live, right? And they'll complain about a woman cheating on them. And then when I ask them how they met the woman, they may say like in the club, shaking ass,
Yeah.
right? So it's like, well, you kind of put yourself in that situation because you got the type of woman who probably would cheat on you, right? So
Yeah, you're right.
there's many different types of men and women out there. Like on the women end of things, there are women who have been cheated on multiple times, and then they think that all men cheat, right? Then I'll ask them, how did you meet this guy? It was like, oh, well, he's a drug dealer. Well, sounds to me like you just chose the type of person who would probably do that.
Okay. Oh, I get it.
Right? So it's like you just have to learn how to improve your odds to have a good experience. So you should reflect on that relationship and be like, that doesn't mean that she didn't do anything wrong, right? Yeah, obviously she did if what you're saying is true. But it's like, okay, how do I avoid putting myself in that situation? What can I learn from that experience and apply it to my next one so that I make it so I can protect myself from that, but also remain open to true, authentic connection. Does that make sense?
Yeah, I get what you're saying.
All right, brother.
Yeah, you're right. Like, yeah, you should just avoid toxic people,
Mm-hmm.
basically.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all you gotta do, bro. All right.
All right.
All right, big dog. Appreciate the question, man. You take care. All right. Another soul saved. Love to see it. Someone asked, how is it safer than it's ever been? You gotta look at history. You look at history, we used to unalive each other a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. A lot, a lot, a lot, a lot, a lot. You wake up one day, look out the window, if there was even a window back then, a bunch of Mongols coming at you, about to chop your head off. It's a bit safer. Statistically, it's safer than it's ever been. It's just if you watch the news, you're hearing about every bad thing that is occurring. There's always bad things that are occurring. There's also always good things that are occurring, right? My grandfather hear about like a shooting in California and he'll go lock his door. I'm like, Gramps, you're on the other side. We're in North Carolina. That happened in California. We're in North Carolina though. You're okay. It'll be all right. It'll be all right. How long do you think the dating phase should last until a relationship is solidified? About 3 months, I would say. I think the average is like 3 to 6 months, to be honest with you. Some people move a little slower because they've been burnt before. He was in California. He would be hella scared because there's a shooting every day, right? I got to realize a lot of content plays on your inability to discern or control your emotions. Yes. Yes. 100%. People want to get you emotionally activated because they want engagement and they're trying to get attention. So you got to take this content online with a grain of salt. Sometimes people will come online with like a story time and the story was made up. The story was completely made up. I went on this date last night and this guy, blah, 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 blah. He went to the bathroom and never came back. Made up, probably. It's probably made up. They just wanted you to comment on their video. So you got to really have a bit of discernment. Does delaying it really serve the cause? What do you mean, Alexa? Delaying what? Like delaying getting into a relationship? I've done that before. I went to the bathroom and never came back. What was the situation there? Tips on dating an avoidant man. It depends on your specific situation. So you may have to call in so I can see exactly what's happening. If you want to call in and get my advice on something, just hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I'll bring you up. We can talk about it. Because your experience of somebody who's like avoidant or anxious is different because they're different people. So the advice needs to be specific to your situation. But I thought I was going to pull him down, but I figured he needed education. Yes, yes. Sometimes you'll have people up, they have a certain perspective, and then it's like, okay, let's talk through it. And then they see you. You get them to be more rational about what they're talking about. Now, if you see someone who has like an agenda, and they're not really trying to have a conversation, pull them down. Alexa, it's like, I still stand by the 3-month rule, assuming that like y'all see each other at least once per month. But I also have to acknowledge that sometimes people do get into relationships later than that. You got to judge it by a case basis, man. You got to judge on a case basis. But 3 months, I still stick by that general rule. Five years ago, Tinder date, girl had an ex come and she asked to go to sleep at his place and then come back out. Yeah, okay. But Typo, I would say for your growth phase, well, obviously that was 5 years ago, so maybe you wouldn't do that again. But it's okay to be like, no, I'm not cool with that. Actually, we should just go ahead and wrap this up, to be honest with you. It's kind of a turn off. So I'm going to head out. Be comfortable having tough conversations with people. That makes your life so much easier. Just be comfortable, just. You have to be like combative. Hello.
Hello, hello.
How you doing?
Oh my God, there's so many people in here. This is so scary.
How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Yeah, I'm the one who wrote in the comments about dating an avoidant man.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know what other information you need. Kind of just like a backstory of how it all started.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Oh, okay. I'm not going to get too into detail because this is a live, but so I started dating this guy. We were just friends in the beginning.
Okay.
I didn't really like him at first on that type of level.
Right.
And then we started to date. He was very, very, very nice to me. He was literally perfect. Like, he would do everything for me, help me with everything. And then as months went by, like maybe a year in, he kind of just like stopped doing all of that. And now I catch myself, having to always call him, always worried about what he's doing. The table's kind of turned. Now I'm the one who, is real anxious, and I'm the one who's always, contacting him or looking at his location, and he's not really worried about me, he doesn't, it's not the same, how it used to be.
Right.
Yep. So, and I don't know. It's not a good feeling to, feel anxious all the time.
Got you, for sure. Okay,
And I
so
don't know if I should stay or leave or just like, because I know it's never going to change. I know it's always going to be me, the one that's, trying to hold on to it.
mhm.
And he's a very, very avoidant person. Like, he's very nonchalant. And anytime I state how I feel, he gets very irritated with me very easily. We almost broke up a few times, but for some reason we always, get back together somehow. Like, I don't know, but it's a very sick situation because I'm the one who's like suffering from it. I'm always
Right.
like on edge.
Okay, how old are you two?
I'm 30. He's 25.
Okay, all right. And how did y'all meet again?
We met. Oh, you want to know how we met? We met
Yeah.
in person, actually. It's a crazy story. I don't know if I should get into that.
Just give me like the summary of it.
We met door dashing,
Okay,
like at a restaurant. So it was a very weird way how we met.
so both of y'all were DoorDashers.
Yes.
Oh, that's cool. Okay, so all right. And then how long have y'all been dealing with one another?
Going on 2 years. We were friends for like almost a year. Like, I would just put him in the friend zone. Like, I didn't think it was gonna get to this level where we're in a whole relationship, But once I fell for him like hard in the beginning. Well, in the beginning, no, I'm gonna be truthful. In the beginning, I liked him, but not as much as he liked me a lot, and I didn't really like him like that. But then as time went on, he started to fall back, and then I caught myself, like the tables just like completely turned.
When he started
And
to
I
fall
thought,
back, were y'all in a relationship at that point?
yeah, like as soon as we got into the relationship, maybe like a year in, he just like started to like fall back, like just, and he just became real nonchalant. Like, he just didn't put as much effort or care as much.
Okay, so fall back. What behavioral changes have you
Just
observed?
getting real irritated with me. Like if I texted him like, "Oh, where are you? What's going on?" Like, he'll just be like, "Oh," like he'll just get so irritated with like everything I do. Or if I say something bothered me, he'll be like, "Oh, you're always so problematic." You're like, all my feelings. Like, every time I felt like bad when he would have the actions of being avoidant, like not wanting to communicate or getting very upset with me, I was the problem.
Okay.
So I don't know. It's really hard to explain, but people that date avoidance, they definitely, they definitely know it's hard.
Okay, so give me an example of like a recent issue that y'all have had where this has kind of played out.
So like, we're on vacation right now, and he keeps disappearing. He'd be like, "Oh, I gotta go. I'm gonna go run and get something to eat." And then he'll be gone for like 2 hours, and so we actually got into a big argument. He was gone for like 2 hours. And I'm like, "Okay, you said you were just getting something to eat. Like, what's going on? Where are you?" And then he ended up saying he was going to hang out with some of his friends. And I'm like, "Why didn't you just tell me that? I'm like sitting around waiting for you, not knowing what's going on." And then I became the problem. Like, every time I state something that bothers me that's like logical, I'm the problem. And he like made a big mess out of it.
How did he
And
respond to what you just said?
he responded very negatively. He just said, "Okay, well, let's just break up. You're always mad about something. Like, I can't wait. Like, we're going to go home now." Like, he's just very, very, very like upset. He gets very upset easily with me, and it's just sometimes I catch myself like holding back my feelings because I know he'll get very angry very quickly.
Does he ever try to solve the issue?
Barely anymore, since the relationship has became a little bit more deeper. He doesn't really, we don't sit and talk about it. We kind of just, he'll be like, "Oh, are you hungry?" Like, it's not like, "Oh, I'm sorry this happened," or this. It just, not
Yeah.
really.
You have to. This is the situation to leave.
Yeah. And then, I don't know. It's just crazy. Like, I used to date a narcissist. I thought that was bad. I think dating an avoidant is like way worse because they don't communicate with you like nothing. Like, you're kind of left not knowing what's going on, and it's so hurtful.
All avoidants aren't the same. They have different capacity
Yeah,
and
but
different
he
different.
still shows he cares. Sometimes, he's not a bad guy. He'll show he cares when it comes to certain things, but when it comes to like talking about feelings or anything like that, he's just upset. Like, it just very grumpy, and then we could be in a room together, he won't talk to me, and like he's like very, very standoffish.
Right.
It's crazy.
Right. So, yes, it's like you gotta be careful with like the labeling. Even if somebody is avoidant, right? People have different character. People have different levels of capacity. People have different
Yeah.
level of investment. So this isn't just like, oh, avoidance or like this. It's not really. There's avoidantly
Yeah.
attached people who are married for 10 years or longer.
Yeah.
So there's different levels to it. You're experiencing a low level.
Yeah.
Because one of the reason why I say this is a situation to leave is because he's doing things that clearly you shouldn't do in a relationship. See, like avoidantly attached people like their independence. They don't like any kind of expectations to be placed upon them.
Yeah.
So a lot of people experience like in the dating phase, they do a lot, but they do a lot because they want to do a lot, right? But when
Yeah.
things get more serious, it's like, oh, now I'm expected to do this. Now it's not
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm doing it because I want to. I'm doing it because I kind of have to. And they
Yeah.
feel like that infringes upon their independence, right? So that's why you'll see like less effort being applied. Well, it's partially the reason why you'll see less effort being applied. But if this situation, if you told me like, oh, he's avoidantly attached, he doesn't like being like vulnerable, he needs his own space. But if we have an issue, even if he does take his space, he'll come back and like want to talk about it so we can resolve it. Okay, that's an
Yeah.
avoidant that's workable. Because repair, like every relationship is going to have conflict. It's unavoidable,
Yeah.
right? What you want is someone who has a willingness to repair. Meaning like even if y'all did have conflict, and even if that person does need to take a breather to kind of feel what they're feeling, they'll still come
Yeah.
back and want to fix things. You're
Yeah.
dealing with someone who sweeps things under the rug, and if you do want to find a solution, they don't even want to have the conversation that would lead to the solution.
Yeah.
This is something that absolutely will end. It is not sustainable. This is not a person you're going to be with the rest of your life. So in knowing that,
Yeah, I know that.
it's best to go ahead and end it, because the longer you stay here, the more you delay meeting the person who you actually can be with.
Yeah, I tried to, I got tired of it a few times and was like, okay, I want to end it, but then he doesn't want to at all. Like, he doesn't want to. So,
Well, you don't need his permission.
yeah,
So you
I
can
know I
just-
need to leave eventually because it's
What,
draining.
you're
Like,
saying-
I know,
you're
but it's
saying-
hard, when you love someone and your feelings are involved.
I get it.
But I know it's right.
Yeah, you're gonna have to. I would try to make that decision sooner than later, love, because it's like you're saying eventually, meaning that you want to stay in it a little bit, but you need to understand you cannot control another person. You can't change this person. You can't make them do stuff they're unwilling to do. So it's either keep feeling this anxiety that you're feeling, or leave so you can find someone who's not going to create that experience with you.
Yeah. Yep. Well, thank you so much. Thank you, chat. I'm just looking at some of the chat. Thank you.
No problem, dear. Best of luck to you.
Yep, thanks.
I know some of my fellas planning on shooting. Give her time to heal, folks. Give her time to heal, fellas. Then hop in them DMs. Huh? Hop in those DMs. Slide. What we doing? Slide. Huh? She can heal in Dallas. CJ, we don't have the room to invite anybody else to Dallas. We ain't got the space for it. Capacity has been, it's already been exceeded. What's the difference between fearful and dismissive? Fearful avoidance are both anxiously attached and avoidantly attached. Dismissive is just avoidantly attached. So a fearful avoidant has both anxious attachment and avoidant attachment. Whoa. Again, people, if you have a question pertaining to dating and relationships, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. That will make you request up. I'll accept it and I will solve your issue. B&B is a low capacity avoidant, right? Right. But yeah, I won't be mad if y'all slid. Won't be mad at y'all at all. Let her end her current situation first, though. I might be in the DMs with you. I ain't gonna lie to you. Let's have a party in Lily's DMs, actually. Let's just have a whole get together. CJ, that's you? I didn't know you were gonna be here. Right? That type of vibe. We got that type of vibe with it. You feel me? All right. What other questions do we have? Group chat DM sliding would be crazy. Yeah, now pop the balloon episode. I was talking to someone, he stopped talking to me out of nowhere. All right, CJ, relax now. Relax. Oh, Lily said she with it. Hey. She said she with it. CJ, this is the problem with comedic personality. You always think there's another joke. DM orgy is kind of crossing the line, brother. You kind of sent that too fast, didn't take a moment to think about it. Gotta relax. Gotta relax there, bro. All right, who's next? Hello.
Hello, can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good, good. What can I do for you?
So I was talking to someone for about a month, I would say, and then he just suddenly like switched up on me. This person was we were talking the way we talk to each other. We talk like basically exclusive. And before I even got into a relationship with him, I asked him, what are you looking for? Are you looking for something serious? And he basically told me that, yes, that's what he was looking for.
Mm-hmm.
And he bought me a ring. We went out on multiple dates. Everything was good.
Right.
Until one day he just, he was sick. Because he's actually a firefighter, so he ended up getting sick. He had rhabdo. I'm not sure if you know of that.
Mm-mm. What's that?
Basically, it's like when you, I think like when you pop something in your muscle and the toxins, they start going inside your bloodstream. And then I think it makes it hard for you to, for your lungs and stuff like that. So it could be like a deadly disease. And I heard that a lot of people, they don't recover from it after getting it.
Right.
Like they're never the same after that. So after he was in the hospital, I tried to see him like 4 times, and he basically flaked on me those 4 times, basically saying that, oh, he's so tired from just being sick, and he just told me that he was tired from being sick from having rhabdo. So I believed him, and I would even call him too on FaceTime to just make sure that he was telling the truth, that he was actually at home in bed, and he was.
Mm-hmm.
And then I noticed that, he was making time for other things. Like he was making time to like take his mom to doctor's appointments. He was making time to go and renew his driver's license. He was making time to go to the bar and drink. But you're doing all of this, but what about me, And I've been trying to see you for a week. So I decided that, I'm going to step back from this guy. And once I started telling him how I felt, he basically blocked me on Snapchat. And I just didn't hear from him again.
Okay, so what's your question here?
It's not much like a question, but it's just me sharing my story. Like, so many women, we go through this type of thing where men, they just love bomb us. And
But this is how old are you two?
so I'm 27 and he's 30.
Gotcha. How did y'all meet?
We met on a dating app.
Okay. And you say he
Yeah.
love bombed you. How did he love bomb you?
Because first of all, the ring, right? Why would he even buy me a ring and all of that, knowing that he's not serious? And I felt like it was really fast because we only knew each other for like a few weeks.
What kind of ring did he buy you?
It was a ring from Pandora. I wouldn't say it was like a promise ring, but it was maybe just like a ring of him just because he liked me, I guess, or he wanted to. But I'm still confused, honestly.
Was it an expensive ring?
I'm not sure.
Okay. Does it look like it's an expensive ring?
It's probably in the middle, I would say.
Middle meaning what?
Maybe like the Andres, maybe 100 and something, 200 and something, I would say.
Okay, so it's not an expensive ring. Okay.
No.
And that's the only evidence that you have that he love bombed you?
Him telling me that he loved me.
When did he tell you that he loved you?
He would tell me all the time when we spoke on the phone.
When did he first tell you that he loved you?
I would say like in the 3 weeks of me talking to him.
Do you think it is possible to genuinely fall in love with someone in 3 weeks?
I'm not sure, but it can happen. I'm not sure.
Were you in love with him during those 3 weeks?
Yes, I would say, yeah.
Okay.
Because the way you were treating me, he was very nice. It was very patient. I felt like he was my person.
Okay. Well, there's an issue on both sides. Yes, he definitely love bombed you, but you also fell for love bombing. Let me tell you something. Women who have worked on themselves, who are a bit more psychologically developed, do not fall for love bombing. You know why they don't fall for love bombing? Because they say this does not make sense. It does not make sense for you to be giving me gifts this early. It does not make sense for you to be telling me you love me 3 weeks in. It does not make sense. It is a turnoff. So they leave. So you cannot say, you did this to me. No. You fell for it because you kept engaging with something that does not make sense.
Yes, you're right.
So you should learn from this, right?
Yes.
Love bombing works on women who kind of select for chaos. It's like chaos in the positive direction. So like toxicity is chaos in the negative direction. Love bombing is chaos in the positive direction. Both experiences overwhelm your nervous system. So women who are turned off by their nervous system being overwhelmed will leave this type of situation. You likely select for men who do overwhelm your nervous system, whether in the love bombing way or in the toxic way. Right? Anxious attached people, both men and women, tend to respond to people positively who make them feel some degree of anxiety. Anxiety and excitement feel exactly the same way in your body. So the reason why all these anxiously attached people are complaining about avoidantly attached people is because they keep choosing avoidantly attached people, because those are the people who make them feel the anxiety that feels to them like a spark. Eventually, you got to look in the mirror and say, well, I got to change this, because it's not that the avoidance or the big bad wolf, it is your selection bias. Does that make sense?
Yes, that makes sense.
Okay. Well, I appreciate
Thank
the
you so
question,
much.
bro. Absolutely. I wish you the best.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye. All right. Who's next? Who is next? Is that Manny? I know that dress anywhere. I know that dress anywhere. Hopefully she connects. I know she got Boost Mobile. She like switched from Cricket to Boost Mobile, and I was like, I think that's a lateral move. You didn't really. There wasn't an improvement in your cellular provider. So hopefully the connection improves. Am I entertaining the wrong thing? How would I know? I have no details, Sky. Let's give her a few more seconds. Bogani Mobile was crazy. Give her a few more seconds here. All right, man, I gotta drop you. It's unfortunate. She's been trying to come up for the past couple of days. Okay, there we go. Again, people, if you have a question, Shorty says that wasn't helpful. What would you have me do? Be her security guard? Hey, you avoid it. You got to avoid this one because he's avoidant, so you can't choose this one. Fuck you want me to do? Okay, Max, what would you have me do? What would you have me do to help that situation? Huh? This is y'all's life. If she don't plan dates, is she just not into me? What? What do you mean? What? Why is she planning the dates, bro? Come on, man. Come on, man. What are we talking about? Here's the problem, right? So with some of the content from men out there, I know this because when I started this business, I spoke directly to men, right? I'm not even talking to Buddy in the chat, but he made me think of something. So like, it's a good thing that a lot of men are like waking up to like their value, right? That's a good thing. Because a lot of men historically entered into a dynamic where they just had like utility. So it's good that they're like, well, I have value too. Good thing, all right? But a lot of guys have overcorrected to such an extreme that it's like they're spiritually women now. They have spiritually become women. So then they go into like these conversations around like, oh, the woman's supposed to approach me. She's supposed to take me out. She's supposed to initiate. You spiritually became female. You can have your value, that's good, and demand a certain type of respect and engagement. Absolutely. I do, right? 100%. That's a good thing. But you don't want to go to the extreme where now you're playing the role of the woman. The feminine is oriented around being cherished. Now, not all women deserve to be cherished. They don't behave like a woman who deserves to be cherished. Okay? So this is not like all women. But the good ones deserve to be cherished. The feminine role is like the delicate flower that you appreciate due to its beauty. And she elevates your life in her way, in the feminine way, right? She elevates your life in the feminine way. But a lot of guys have turned into that flower. They've anamorphed into a rose, and now they want to be admired. And it's like, you've lost the plot. You've lost the plot if you get to that place. You've lost the plot. All right? You still got to play your position, and she still has to play hers. But you're losing the plot. It's similar to some women who like take on the masculine role now. It's like they They'll constantly shoot their shot. They want to control everything. Like there's some women who fall victim to the same thing. But I feel like men have more influence over women from a macro perspective than the alternative, because the feminine is mostly responsive. It's responsive. Okay. Thoughts on location sharing? I don't think you should do it. It's not necessary. Typically, try to always reduce whatever decision that you want to make to like, is this coming from love or fear? Typically, if you like really get to the root of things, the thing that is animating your behavior is either coming from love or fear. If it's coming from a fearful place, the vast majority of times it's the wrong decision. So when you talk about sharing location, you're not having an orientation where it's like, oh, I love him so much, I just want to see where he is. Mm-mm. That's not a love behavior. That's a fear behavior. Let's just simplify your decision making. It's just a band-aid solution for a bigger issue, right? What's going on, Estefani? Call in, love. If you have a question, you can hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I'll bring you up. Basically saying, like, you don't want to lose somebody because you love them, or is it fear? Yeah, you don't want to lose someone, so it's a fear-based response. What happened to Pink Dress? I wanted to hear a story. I don't know. Should I stop talking to an ex who let me back on and later told me she has a man? So she led you on and then later said she has a man? Yes, you should stop talking to her. Damn, I must have fear base. I'm trying though to heal while I being in a situation though. Okay, I don't really understand what you're saying. I think there was some typos in that sentence. Personally, I don't like location sharing. Feel like I'm being policed too much. Right. For people who are anxiously attached, that's probably the worst thing you can do is share location. It creates constant open loops and it's going to make you more anxious and lead to a bunch of questionings, which will lead to you becoming more annoying in the relationship. Ain't nobody got time for someone who's always got a complaint about some shit. It is unbelievably annoying. I don't share with my kids, it makes them crazy. Again, if y'all got a question, I want my answer to it, my advice, just hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person. I'll bring you up. Don't be shy. That's how you get the best answers to your questions, because then I can ask you questions back and kind of figure out your situation. Coach, what is your sign? What sign do you think I am? What's your best guess? What is your best guess? Taurus? No. Good guess, though. Virgo? Nope. Bad guess. Aquarius? Nope. Leo? I'm offended. Aries? Nope. Scorpio? Nope. Nope. Sag? Nope. Libra? Nope. Capricorn? Nope. I'm a Cancer. That's why, like, y'all have to, as you develop yourself, you it's hard to put you in boxes. You know what I mean? That's like the goal. Like anyone who's like really done a lot of work on themselves, it's like you just become more dynamic. That was my guess. Good. Mom is a Cancer. Shout out to moms. Do you believe in star signs? I mean, I think they're true for sure. I don't really subscribe to them though, but I know they're true. I appeal to a higher authority though. Thoughts on people that only date if their signs match? Weird. Weird, weird, weird. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that. That just comes from my religious beliefs. That's like divination. That's essentially using the stars to make your decision. Ah, people can do what they want, obviously, but my Christian belief, we're clearly told not to do that. I don't believe in those signs. Oh, I believe in the signs. Signs are real. The signs are real. I just don't subscribe to them. Like, I don't believe in like that they have authority over me. But I do think they have an influence. Like, this shit's biblical, bro. When Moses went to free the folks, Pharaoh had magicians there. Remember? And they turned their staffs into snakes. What does that mean? They're disconnected from God, but yet they could turn their staffs into snakes. That means there's other access to power out there that is disconnected from God. When they were born? What do you mean? I'm clueless about zodiacs. I get the ick if a man cares about them. You're the anomaly. Because I'm going to tell you right now, if a man knows a bit about zodiac signs, and he goes on a date, that's great fodder conversationally. Transits are real. Millionaires have astrologers. I believe, like, all those things are real. Absolutely. But the Christian faith, we're told not to deal with them. Right? You were to do like God's will, not your own will. That's satanic from a Christian frame. You know, like the Satanic Bible, like Satanists, their foundational premise, the foundational premise of the Satanic Bible that everything else is built on is do what thou wilt. Essentially, do what you want to do. And some people like think that's a good thing. They're like, now if you're not a Christian, ignore what I'm saying. This is for Christian people who are watching. But it's like, do what thou wilt. That's the whole premise. It's like, just do what you want to do. And you'll hear people talk and they're like, everybody should do what they want to do. It's like, that's how you get you. That's how you get you. That's how you get got. Best black sitcom couple, I say Martin. I'm gonna go with My Wife and Kids. When I used to watch My Wife and Kids when I was younger, I wanted to be a father like Damon Wayans. But I have an unpopular opinion when it comes to like black sitcoms. I personally hold the position that the Jamie Foxx show is better than Martin. Gotta be honest. Martin is elite. Martin was elite. I feel like the Jamie Foxx show was better. That's just me. That's just me. Everyone says Martin was the best. I'm like, I don't know if I can agree with that. I don't know if I can agree. The Jamie Foxx show was like more consistent laughs for me. Very interesting take. I know it's not popular. I've seen other people say it though. But I'm like, it was a bit. Now Martin's cast, they had better chemistry. I give you that. But the Jamie Foxx show personally entertained me more. Yeah, you said Jamie Foxx is funnier, Martin is more silly. Right. Jamie Foxx has more range than Martin does comedically. Martin is gonna make like a funny face and do a dance and some shit like that. I mean, his characters were funny too. Don't get me wrong, but I'm going with the Jamie Foxx show. Martin's just too like low IQ funny to me. See, you trying? I was trying to be. I'm not even going. I don't agree with you, Andrea. I was going to, but I don't want to agree with you. But here's the thing: slapstick does appeal to like low IQ and high IQ. Like a fart joke will get a low IQ person and a high IQ person. To be honest. But yeah, Martin was a bit more slapstick. He was a bit more silly. The Wayans brothers was elite too. There was a lot of good black sitcoms. We don't really have any nowadays. Should be corny. Would you date the character like Gina or the girl Jamie Foxx was always after? No, Jamie was a bit of a simp on the Jamie Foxx show. But Gina would be wifey for sure. For sure. Martin has those specific episodes that have me in tears. Jamie, like when I say better, like the shit's still close. It's not like a big gap between the Jamie Foxx show and Martin, but it's like, I feel like Jamie got him. Maybe Martin would have like took the cake if him and the woman who played Gina didn't have a personal fallout. The last season, like they couldn't even be in the same scene. Tasha from Everybody Hates Chris, the ideal wife. Who's Tasha? That's Chris's mother in that show? I was more into the Wayans brothers. I was too when I was younger. I was more into the Wayans brothers. Because Marlon was hilarious to me. He's still slapstick funny as well. But as an adult, when I reflect, it's like, nah, Jamie Foxx show was better than me. Is it true that a connection is real only when it's both ways? Yes. Because a connection implies mutual agreement. If it's not both ways, it's one-sided. And if it's one-sided, it's not a real connection. We got some requests. Hello.
Hi, good afternoon.
Hey, how are you?
I'm good. I just want to ask you a question.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, dating this man, he's 57 and I'm 47.
Mm-hmm.
For the past 9 months. Well, I think we're just stuck at going out, talking casual stuff.
Right.
So I'm asking, should I just let it go or give it some more time?
Okay. How did y'all meet?
It's like a job. He's working somewhere and I happen to go there.
Okay. And how long have y'all been dealing with one another?
9 months.
9 months. How frequently do y'all see one another?
Every day. He come to my house every day.
And y'all are not in a relationship?
That's not a relationship.
No, I'm asking you, are y'all not in a committed relationship?
You haven't said it. I haven't said it.
So what's the problem here?
We're just not talking anything going forward. Like making any plans.
Plans like what?
Like for the future, if we're going to be together. So I'm on an island and he's not from this island. I'm not from this island either.
Okay. All right. But y'all both like live on the same island?
Well, I permanently live here, but he doesn't know that.
What do you mean?
He think I'm on a work permit.
Why does he think that?
Because majority of the people that's like local, they're on a work permit.
Why haven't you told him that that's not the case for you?
I don't know sometimes when you tell people that, it's like that's all they want to hear because they can go like married to you and then get papers for here. So that's one of my reasons of not telling him yet.
Okay. So a work permit would like end at some point, right? So so people who are on the island who have work permits, how long do they typically stay on the island?
9 months. No, I'm 9 years. Sorry.
9 years. Okay. Okay. I get that. That makes sense. So does he lives on the island as well?
He's on a work permit.
When does his work permit end?
I think he has 4 more years.
Okay. Okay. So he just assumed you were on a work permit, or did you tell him that?
He's assuming because I'm in a government job, and he asked me, "How did you get a job?" I said, "I just went online and applied." But in order for me to get a job, I would have to be a resident here.
Has he shared any desire of wanting to be with you?
No, we have no conversation like that.
Okay. Has he shared any desire of wanting to stay there permanently?
Yes.
Okay. Are there like a lot of people? What's the population of the island? Like, are there a lot of people there? Like, and locals, I mean, not people on work permits.
Yeah, it's a lot.
Okay, so there's other people that you can date who are locals.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I would end this. It is a nuanced situation, to be fair. Very nuanced. Because you can make the argument that even if he did want to be with you, he's probably not. Let me think about this.
Not want to be because you think I'm a local. So I think
You
that's
should
the
tell
reason why.
you should tell him that you are a resident. That
Then
you
I
live
would
there.
see the difference.
Not necessarily. Here's why I say that. Because he's assuming that you are on a work permit. If he wanted to marry someone in order to become a resident, then he could have just dated another local.
Yes, but it's not really easy to find, but yes.
What do you mean?
Like sometimes you meet a local, you doesn't know that they're not on a work permit. Because people don't normally like tell people that, oh, I'm a resident here. People don't really do that. Because once you do that, you meet a man and you do that, you tell them that you're a resident here, they want to marry to you just for the resident.
No, I agree with you. I think that it's probably wise not to share that information for the reasons that you've expressed. What I'm
Right.
saying though is if he was really on a mission to marry somebody so that he could be there permanently, he would be trying to find somebody like that. It's been 9 months. And you can also make the argument that even if he did want something serious, or if he was willing to have something serious with you, he might be holding back on it because he's assuming the both of you are on work permits.
Right.
Right. So the 9 months that you've spent with him would imply that his intention is not just to find someone on the island to marry, or else he would have been doing that. He hasn't been doing that.
Right.
Right? So your best strategy is here's how you play it. You let him know that you're a permanent resident. If he immediately shifts his energy and is trying to make things official,
Right.
That's-
And then you'll
if he immediately changes, that's the tell. If he doesn't immediately change, but then things like progressively get more serious, So that's how I would play this. I would give it a few. Tell him, give it a few months and observe how he changes. If he immediately changes, that's a sign he's trying to go ahead and lock you down in order to stay on the island. If in a month or two he starts like trying to move towards serious commitment, then that's him like processing the aspect of like, oh, this is someone I can actually be with, because she's not going to like leave immediately.
Right.
Okay? So play it like that, and then that'll give you a lot of data.
Okay, good. Thank you.
No problem, dear. Best luck to you.
Okay, bye.
I'm telling you, I'm nice with the blam blams, baby. That was a good little strategy. If a man says he can't commit due to financial reasons, is that legit or an excuse? It depends. I need more details. That's why you got to call in so I can like ask questions. All right. I don't think Buddy going to connect. Let's keep it moving. Yo. Hello? Alright. Hello.
Hey, how are you, sir?
Great, how are you?
I'm well, can't complain.
What can I do for you?
All right, so I have a question. This is just a general question.
Okay.
How do you tell the difference between a woman who wants you to apply pressure, basically playing hard to get, and a woman who's solely not interested?
And the woman who is not solely interested? Okay. Does she make herself available to you?
Yes.
So is this a woman that you've been dating?
Was.
Okay. How long did you date her?
Well, I wouldn't say date. I would say getting to know.
So y'all didn't go on any dates?
We did 2 dates. And this was in a 1-day period.
So y'all went to 2 different venues in one day?
Correct, yes, sir.
How did you meet her?
Through work.
Okay. When you asked her out, was it like obvious that it was a date, or could it also be argued that this was just 2 friends getting together?
I would say a date, yes, sir.
Okay. Why would you say a date?
Because of the way I approached her,
Okay.
the communication that we had.
What did you say to her?
Basically stating that I would, like to get to know her. I asked her if she had a boyfriend or a man.
Gotcha. Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Cool. Okay, so it was clearly a date. And then why are you no longer dating her?
So her response was, I'm interested in getting to know you. However, I'm not interested in, or I don't want to date a pastor or a minister or a preacher or somebody of the cloth.
She said that when you asked her out?
This was, I want to say, yes. This was like, I want to say the day after we had the date. Those were her words.
Okay, yeah, she just wasn't interested. This wasn't a matter of applying pressure. This was just somebody who was like, yeah, I don't want that life.
Okay.
Did she like find out you were a pastor or a man of the cloth on the date?
Yeah, she knew. No, man.
She knew before agreeing to the date?
Correct. Yes, sir.
Okay. What did y'all do on the date?
I mean, we went to the zoo and then we went to a park, walked in the park.
Okay. So if she knew that you were a pastor, it is also possible that she just wasn't feeling it on the date, and then this is just a justification to spare you. But she could also just not be interested in dating you based on, you know, you being a
Ministerial
pastor.
duties. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Yep, that's all it is, man.
Okay. I appreciate you, man.
No problem, Chief. Best of luck to you, man. All right.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right. Is he at brunch? I don't know. It was very loud. But yeah, I mean, sometimes pastors have like a lot of like cliches about dating pastors. Not saying that applies to him at all, but there are some women who will not do it. There are some women who will not do it. And congregations aren't always welcoming to a first lady met outside of the church. Okay. They perfect the nice nasty. Yeah. Hello.
Hello.
Hey, how are you?
I'm fine. Good evening.
Yeah,
From Ghana.
Nice. What can I do for you?
Say again?
I said, what can I do for you? Well, Danny strikes again. D Money strikes again. Wynette, I feel like you accidentally request up every single day. I'm gonna need you to watch them thumbs, love. You gotta watch them thumbs. What other questions do we got, folks? Some decent calls today. So far. Some decent ones. Can't say great. You know what I mean? Has been great calls, but it's decent ones, you know. Every day has like a little mixed bag. But if you want me to solve your issue, you can definitely hit the button at the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person, and I'll bring you up. Okay? I will bring you up. What are the cliches of dating a pastor? There's like cheating allegations. There's like a lot of the time them being kind of unenjoyable behind the scenes. It's a lot. There's a lot. Obviously, that's not like all pastors. It's just an experience other people have had. Like, there's cliches of like children of pastors too, that they get bucked wild because they feel like they're so controlled in the household that when they get free from it, yikes. You can also look at it from like a religious, like a Christian frame, where because the person is a pastor, the enemy like attacks the kids. So that's also a thing. They can have big egos too. Can't reason with them. I can see that. I can see that for sure. Do you like your afternoon lives or do you like your night lives? The afternoon lives are more stimulating intellectually. The evening lives, because it's end of day, they're a bit more entertaining. As a pastor's kid, this is in fact true. Right. All right, let's see who this is. Hello. Hello. All right. Sound like Buddy was asleep in a microwave, it sounds like. What kind of questions do we got, folks? What kind of questions do we have? Either drop it in the chat or hit the button on the bottom of the screen with the blue and pink person to call in. I don't think I really know any pastor's kids personally. How do you not have a headache talking to people all day? I'm very extroverted. Lisa.
Hello.
Hey,
I'm just calling in to, stand in, I think.
Uh-huh.
I have a question because yesterday you mentioned something like to the effect that secure people, they're already in relationships since a long time and we miss sort of the window for the secure people in the dating market.
Uh-huh.
So what do you suggest us do as anxious becoming secure to do then? Like who should we?
I mean, you can date a person who is insecurely attached. You just got to do the work so that you can better manage your side of the equation more effectively. When I've read the book Attached and other books like it annoyed me that they kept prescribing for people to date people who are secure, because I'm like, the math doesn't work.
Yeah.
The math just doesn't work. Like, if you read the book Attached, they basically were arguing that 50% of the population were secure, 25% were anxious, 25% were avoidant. I'm like, well, there's no way that's true. The numbers are too clean. And that's certainly not true nowadays. I feel like there's more insecurely attached people nowadays.
Yeah. But that's scary that even if we become more secure, our chances of attracting another anxious person that's becoming secure are slim, because in general we don't really attract each other. Like even in my relationships in my life, I've never.
It's not about attracting. It's about choosing. Because remember, I come from anxious attachment origins. I've dated anxious women, right? Because I'm more aware of in what way I am attracted to you. So it's not like I'm just defaulting to choosing someone who activates anxiety within me. I tend to shy away from those type of people. So yeah, an anxious person can be with an anxious person. It's what you typically don't see is two avoidants getting together. Not that it's impossible, but you usually do not see that.
Maybe like a fearful and a dismissive, maybe.
Yeah. It happens a lot. Fearful and dismissive happens a lot. Actually, that's the reason why a lot of fearfully avoidantly attached people, they'll come to me as clients and they'll think they're anxious. And it's because they've only dated emotionally unavailable people. So their avoidant side never activated because they were constantly in a situation where the person they were dating was somewhat avoidant.
Yeah. Interesting. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm not ready to be in the dating market, but I'm just trying to see, what's even out there.
Now, there's things out there. Because remember, it's you got to be careful with the labels, because people will call someone anxious or call someone avoidant, and they'll reduce them to that label. Character makes a difference. Capacity makes a difference. How much they're interested in you makes a difference. Their past makes a difference. So you can have an avoidantly attached person who's discarded 3 or 4 people, and then the pain that he or she feels from that is the catalyst that makes them take things more serious and show up better in the next connection. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So when I give y'all advice and kind of share these frameworks, you don't want to hyperfixate on one of those. You want to kind of look at it from a holistic perspective. So yeah, the attachment style is a data point, but so is that person's capacity. So is that person's character. So just choose good stock. Ultimately, you want to get someone who moves in good faith and has the capacity to be with you. People fall into 3 buckets. I'm going to mute you real quick because there's a bit of an echo, but I haven't talked about this in a while. Capacity is just a measurement of like how capable the person is holding their connection. People are going to have 3 levels of capacity. High capacity individuals are going to be people who can be activated, meaning feel anxiety, and then still stay connected with you. You can argue that that person is effectively earned secure, right? No matter if they're anxious or avoidant, because their capacity is so high, they can like stay connected to you even if they want to run when they're activated, right? Low capacity individuals are people who, when they're activated, they will leave usually. And when they leave, it is typically for a long time, if they ever come back. And when they do come back, they're never the same again. You've experienced that with people. Like a person who like ran for a bit, came back, but they were still kind of off and never got back to baseline within the connection. Low capacity individuals should not be entertained. The moment you identify their low capacity, get out of there because it's likely not going to change. But then there are people with moderate capacity. Moderate capacity individuals, when they're activated, they'll still create space. Both anxious and avoidant people do this, by the way. People think avoidant people run and anxious people stay. Anxious people run too. They do. They just have a different reason as to why they're running. The inner motivation is how you determine if you're dealing with an anxious person or an avoidant person. But anxious people also will run and create distance. So moderate capacity person, when they're activated, they would typically create space for 24 to 72 hours. And then they'll return back to the connection and be back at baseline. That's somebody you can work with no matter what their attachment style is. So you can work with the high capacity people, which they're going to be harder to find because they're effectively secure, likely already in a relationship, or don't even need a relationship, to be honest. And moderate capacity people, there's going to be some activation there that they, that affects their behavior, but they get back to baseline relatively quickly. You want to avoid the low capacity people. That's not going to work. I'm going to mute you now.
Yeah, and I'm sorry about the audio. I don't know why. I guess my internet in my country is not too good. Mm-hmm. In my last relationship, I assume he was a medium capacity, but still in the end, he chose to self-sabotage by, installing dating apps or paying for dating apps.
What evidence made you think that he was moderate capacity?
Because he was aware of his topics to a certain extent. He was also willing to work on them, and he usually came back. The turnaround was fairly quickly, like you said, 2 to 3 days.
Right.
For like small infractions or arguments and things like that.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Now,
but in the end, it still didn't work out. So
right, but that's why I say you also factor in character. So the reason why y'all ended was a character issue. You're saying that he installed dating apps, while being in a relationship with you? Yeah, that's a character problem.
Yeah, that's true. And I ended it that day, so I'm proud of myself.
There we go.
But I will hand over to whoever wants to be next. Just wanted to ask those questions. Thank you.
Okay, no problem, love. Best luck to you. Okay, we got a question. How can you determine the capacity difference in active dating scenarios? There's 3 ways to test capacity. Now, when I say test capacity, you're not doing this consciously. You're not doing it intentionally. So you're not creating a scenario to test the person. You're allowing it to organically happen. So there's 3 ways to test it. The first way is an increase in intimacy. So there's an increase in closeness, emotional closeness. That tests someone's capacity. The second way is conflict. So if there's an issue that you have or a boundary that needs to be set, you bring it to the forefront. You don't sweep it under the rug. The third way to test it is logistics. So an example of that would be maybe you're in a long distance relationship and you're talking about moving, right? Once you bring logistics into the conversation and want to actually have a plan for those logistics, that is also something that will test capacity. CJ knows what I'm talking about. Those are the 3 ways to test it. I had a client who was dating a guy who was fresh out of a relationship, and she asked him, like, she was kind of hesitant of dating him because he was in a long-term relationship that he was only like a couple of months removed from. And when she asked him, was he ready for a relationship? He told him, like, yeah, I can be in a relationship right now. I'm emotionally available. And she was like, all right. So she dated him for 7 months. During that 7 months, she didn't bring up any issues. She tried to be the cool girl in the connection, right? Never voiced any concern. She certainly had concerns. She certainly had issues, but she never brought them up because she thought they were minor. She was sweeping things under the rug. Then she went to his house and saw something she didn't like and had an issue with it. So they got into an argument. Not a big argument. She didn't snap on her or anything like that, but they did get into an argument. So he pleaded his case, explained the situation to her. The following day, he reached out, ended the connection, and said that he is not ready for a relationship. So the conflict that they had revealed his capacity. Some people, when they say that they're ready for a relationship, they think they are, until intimacy increases, conflict occurs, or logistics have to be handled. And then that reveals to them that they're not ready. So it's not this guy was lying to her. He probably didn't know his actual capacity for the connection. Had she allowed conflict to unfold organically, instead of sweeping it under the rug, she would have probably knew his capacity 2 months in, instead of wasting 7 months to ultimately discover that she was in a connection that had no possibility of working out. So the lesson is, we don't prevent intimacy, we don't shy away from conflict, and we don't avoid handling logistics, because every one of those things give you data on the capacity the individual has. Does that make sense? Put a 1 in the chat if that makes sense. Put a 2 in the chat if it doesn't make sense. You want me to elaborate further? Cool. Okay. A lot of 1s. All right. Perfect. Yeah, that's a subject a lot of people don't talk about, or they don't give you any kind of like practical ways to understand it and apply it. Appreciate you, Karen. Perfect. Okay, makes sense. Cool. All right. But yeah, that capacity conversation is huge. I think I made a YouTube video on it. I want to say. I don't know. Pretty sure I made a YouTube video on that. Because it's a big one. And it'll help give you more clarity over the connection. To see if it's actually viable. But yeah, that capacity stuff is deep. It's definitely deep. But yeah, a lot of people nowadays have lower capacity for sure. Here, you want to know the truth? Here's the truth. Nobody's going to say it. Here's the truth. There's a reason why I'm so big on static environments. Because y'all probably have experienced a lot of low capacity people, a lot of people who are avoidantly attached and just have attachment issues, right? Here's why. most of the healthy people are not actively dating. They aren't hooking up. They're not dating at all. It's part of the reason why you're having such a bad time. Because those people are not dating, or like what Daisy said, they're already in a relationship. But out of the single people, they're not dating. That doesn't mean they've like sworn off dating. They have the ability to be happy alone, even if they do desire a relationship. I'm not talking about the people who are like avoidant and want to like have their independence. But their orientation towards connection is like, I desire it, but I don't need it. And I live a full life to where like I'm not that pressed. They probably dipped their toe in, was like, yo, this is crazy. I'm cool. That's where it is. That's where you're going to find the best people to date. Now think about that. If what I say is true, why would you be on a dating app? They're not up there. They're not up there. You understand? Do you see why I talk about static environment so much? Put yourself in a static environment and then meet people in that way. Because these people are just living life. And if you're not living life, you're not going to find them. You can luck up and find them, right? Because you can find someone like that on social media. But a lot of those people tend to have like private accounts. So you wouldn't even really stumble across them like that. There's a whole subset of the population that is not actively in the dating pool, even though they're single, even though they would desire to date somebody. They're not in the pool. So everybody just dating the same people. They're just sharing the same people. But there are a group of people who aren't really accessible unless you're living life and you happen to cross paths with them. People fight me on that static environment thing sometimes. Well, you'll meet the same people in real life who are on the dating apps. Right. True. That happens. But if you date on a dating app, you're guaranteed to only meet people on the fucking dating app. Why is this confusing to you? At least if you take the organic approach, there is a possibility that the person that you're connected with is not on a dating app. If you date on a dating app, it is a guarantee that the person that you connect with is on a dating app. People's ability to critically think is like, it truly annoys me. Truly annoys me. But yeah, so the static environment approach is going to be the best approach. I have a good question. How do you detach from someone? I'm an anxious. I'm gonna answer your good question, Lala. So I've heard people say before, like, just pretend like they died, right? Like, so you don't want, first off, you don't want to have any reminders of them. So as hard as it may be, delete pictures, delete conversational threads. You want nothing to remind you of their existence. Okay? That's the first thing. Second thing, I would go ahead and proactively block them. My nephew's coming, hold on. Okay, I thought he was gonna ask me something. I would proactively block them so that you can't reach out to them. So you got to go no contact. Third, I will grieve the connection. So allow yourself to feel sad. And lean on to your support system as well. What's up, buddy?
Good, how are you doing?
Yeah, go ahead. Lean on your support system. Yeah, what Jay Wood said. That includes social media. Looking at them on social media, none of that. It's going to hurt for a while, but time heals all. That's also my problem. I don't like to lean on nobody. I like to keep it in. I hear that. If you can start building your ability to do things, even if they make them uncomfortable, it will improve every area of your life. That's what messes a lot of people up. We talk about like anxious and avoidant people. Both of them are just avoiding something that's uncomfortable. The anxious person can't handle ambiguity and not knowing. It makes them uncomfortable. The avoidant person is uncomfortable with like closeness. But they could change damn near overnight if they just decide to. Just because they're uncomfortable, it doesn't mean that something's wrong. Just do things that make you uncomfortable, because when you do that, you become more capable and you start to integrate that skill set. That's why people tell you to do things you're afraid of doing. But nobody wants to. People interpret feelings as if they're facts. So if they feel uncomfortable, if they feel a bad feeling, they think that something's wrong. What about if you always be around your ex, though? I'm definitely not going to be detached. Why are you always around your ex? What time is it? I actually gotta run, people.
And then, Mom.
Chance, go back in there, buddy. Got a call coming up, folks. So if you're new here, make sure to follow. I'll be live again tonight at 9 p.m. Eastern time. Forgot I got an earlier call today. So if you want to watch this live stream on YouTube, link in bio for that. It's at The Signal Dating. Is there anything else? Remember, Dallas, August 14th through the 17th. Appreciate the mods. Appreciate the chat. I will see you all tonight.